Breaking news out of the Cayman Islands. Just weeks before the Miss World Festival is set to begin in India, the Miss World Cayman Islands pageant has announced a new title holder for Miss World Cayman Islands. Stick around because we're going to talk about it right after this. Hey pageant fans, welcome back to another episode of T-Stance on Pageantry, where we talk all things pageant related. I'm your host, Teresa. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. And if you're new here, thanks for joining us. In a shocking turn of events, the Miss World Cayman Islands Committee has appointed a new title holder, effectively replacing their 2024 winner, Latecia Bush. You guys, this is the second time that I've sat down to record this video because this is not something that I like talking about. It's definitely not something that I enjoy seeing happen, but here we are, and we are going to talk about it. So let's get into the press release that the committee released. It says, the Miss World Cayman Islands pageant is pleased to announce Jada Ramoon as the new Miss World Cayman Islands. Jada will represent the Cayman Islands at the upcoming Miss World pageant in India, scheduled for May. Pageant director Pamela Ebanks-Small remarked, after careful consideration and in adherence to the contractual obligations that govern our pageant, we have made the difficult decision to transition to a new representative. We want to emphasize that this decision was not made lightly, and we believe that Jada will showcase to the world the values of the Miss World Cayman Islands pageant. Jada, who distinguished herself as the second runner-up in the October 2024 competition, will now carry the Cayman Islands' flag on the international stage. Her qualifications and dedication make her an excellent choice. As a programs coordinator with the Chamber of Commerce, she brings a wealth of experience and strong commitment to community engagement. Her enthusiasm for this opportunity is evident, and we are confident she will represent the Cayman Islands with grace and distinction. Jada's appointment was confirmed after the first runner-up of the competition did not finalize her contractual obligations with the pageant. The Miss World Cayman Islands pageant acknowledges Latecia Bush's time as title holder and wishes her the best in her future pursuits. The organization's focus remains on empowering young women and providing a platform for them to make a positive impact. We appreciate the continued support of our sponsors and the community as we embark on this exciting new chapter. We are confident that Jada will be a remarkable representative for the Cayman Islands at the Miss World pageant. Looking ahead, our queen to receive international training. Jada Ramoon, our new Miss World Cayman Islands, is set to receive specialized international pageant training to ensure she represents the Cayman Islands at the highest standards. This includes expert coaching in the Cayman Islands this April and one-on-one training in India, all part of our commitment to equip our queens for success on the world stage. Like I said earlier, this is sad news, but I have to say that I am really, really happy for Jada. If you've been around my channel, then you may have heard me talk about how I was involved in the Miss World 2024 pageant, helping to produce it by being the official pageant coach. So I got to spend a lot of time around the contestants, and I got to be a witness to their growth and their transformation. And for me, when I first saw Jada come into the competition, I was excited to see her, but I was underwhelmed by her initial performance just because she's a pageant girl. I was expecting her to come in guns blazing, like really showing up and showing out, and I didn't see that at first. However, once she started receiving feedback on where she could improve and she started to take criticism very well, she really started to put in the work and started to work on the things that were being pointed out to her, and she really started to improve. And so in the days and the last few weeks of the competition, I saw that transformation. I saw a queenly presence in her, and I really believe that she stood a really, really good chance at walking away with one of those titles. Now, as the press release stated, she was the second runner-up. So you might be wondering, well, what happened? If you're saying that she had that queenly presence, what happened to that? Well, on the night of the pageant, I'm not sure what happened, but it was very evident that that queenly presence, that aura, that sparkle and shine that she was exhibiting all throughout the last few days and weeks of the competition just wasn't there. I don't know if it was nerves or something else going on in the background or mindset. I'm not sure, but it just wasn't there. And so I was not surprised when she got this second runner-up placement. Now, you might be wondering, if she's second runner-up, how come she's now been elevated to this status of being Miss World Cayman Islands? And that is because the first runner-up did not sign her contract. So I want people to understand that when you win a title in a pageant, if it's a runner-up or the main title, you win it in name only, essentially. And what makes it official is when you sign the contract to say that, yes, you accept this role. Yes, you are willing and able to be a representative of this organization. And unfortunately, the first runner-up did not do that. And so the Miss World Cayman Islands committee had no other option but to move forward with the person to whom they do have a contract with. And the next person in line was Jada. I'm very happy for her. Now, I do want to emphasize that I believe because of Jada's hard work, her perseverance, her resiliency, she will definitely make the Cayman Islands proud. I know that she only has a few weeks to prepare for India, but I have no doubt that she will be committed to ensuring that she gives it her all during these next few weeks to get herself prepared. And I have no doubt that she will also just represent the Cayman Islands to the best of her ability, giving it all of her efforts. So I have no doubts about her in this competition, and I'm very excited to see her go. I'm happy that she's getting this opportunity. And after the pageant, Jada actually reminded me of something that I had totally forgot about, which was that some years ago, I had judged Jada in the pageant, and I wrote on her score sheet, apparently, please enter Miss World. I think it just goes to show that, you know, even though you might be a runner-up, runner-ups are still important. And we say this every year at pageants. We say if for any reason the winner cannot fulfill her duty, the first runner-up will take her place. We don't usually say it for the second runner-up, but the same is true. As you can see in this instance, if you are a runner-up, do not feel like your hard work was in vain, because you just never know when you may be called upon to step into that role. And sometimes, you know, we can't predict these situations, and it is unfortunate when these situations do arise. But sometimes if you're there, the opportunity presents itself, and then you are able to step into the role, right? And a lot of times when title holders are traveling, or, you know, maybe they're at the international competition and there's like a local event happening, sometimes organizers will request the runners-up to come in the place of the title holder. So don't feel like just because you are a runner-up that you won't get opportunities, because there are opportunities. And though this type of opportunity is very rare, I mean, I think the last time this happened was in 2022, so it has happened quite recently, but I think that we've not had this happen very often. So it is rare to acquire the title in this way, but it does happen. Now, since this press release has come out, Latecia Bush, the original 2024 winner of the title, has come out with her own statement, and I'll read it here for you guys now. I, Latecia Bush, 2024 Miss World Cayman Islands, would like to take a moment to thank everyone who has supported me throughout my journey. Representing my country on this platform has been an incredible honor, and I have carried the title with dedication, integrity, and the utmost respect for the responsibilities it entails. It is with deep disappointment that I acknowledge the decision to revoke my title. A decision made without fairness, transparency, or the opportunity for meaningful discussion. With just 1 month before the Miss World competition, I was informed that I would no longer be representing the Cayman Islands despite my full commitment to the role and having all my necessary preparations completed. My formal requests for a meeting and reconsideration were denied, leaving me without a voice in a matter that directly affects my life and my future. This decision does not align with the values that any organization committed to women's empowerment should uphold. Time and time again, women in this role have been silenced, undermined, and cast aside without due process. I am not the first to experience this, and I refuse to be silent while this pattern continues. No organization that claims to uplift women should be the very source of their mistreatment. This is not just about me, but for every young woman who dares to dream and strives to achieve her goals. It is about upholding the values that young women are taught to believe in. Hard work, perseverance, and dedication should be honored, not disregarded without justification. We must come together for fairness, transparency, and respect for the opportunities we rightfully earn. I do not agree with this decision or the manner in which it was handled, and I will continue to stand for what is right. This is not only for me, but for every young woman who deserves to be treated with dignity and fairness. I invite you to stand with me. Please share my statement, post messages of support, temporarily switch your profile picture to my queen photo, and use the hashtag I stand with Binky. Now, obviously, I feel very saddened for Latecia. I know how much she has wanted this opportunity. Actually, I remember some years ago, we were both judging at a pageant together, and she turned to me and said, I really want to be the next Miss World Cayman Islands. And so when she competed last year and won, I was happy for her because I love seeing young women's dreams come true, and I know how much she had her heart set on it. So to see that this is the end result is really, really sad. I am generally very supportive of title holders, and I want them to shine bright and to represent the Cayman Islands with dignity and pride. Now, I do want to take this time to address some of the comments I'm seeing online. There's been a lot of rhetoric, of course, and that is to be expected when you have something like this happen. A lot of people are commenting online, saying that this is unfair. How did we get here? How can they do this without citing, sound reasoning or their reasons for doing this? And so I wanted to provide a little bit of context from like a general pageant industry perspective. And so to all the people questioning, I want people to understand that generally speaking, this step of replacing a title holder is usually the last step, not the first step, but the last step in a series of protocols or steps that would be taken to address any sort of issues that an organization is having with their title holder. And that is done by design. And that is because it benefits both the organization and the title holder to give the title holder an opportunity to address whatever issues may be going on behind the scenes. So generally speaking, title holders will be given some kind of warning. The number of warnings can vary. When they're given can vary. It just depends. But these warnings could be verbal, they could be written, in any kind of situation like that. So I just want people to understand that typically an organization's first step is not to remove a title holder. So although the committee in this case has chosen not to divulge why they chose this route, it does not mean that there were not issues going on in the background that we are just not privy to. So I really want people to understand that generally speaking, an organization is not going to take this as their first line of action. There's probably been a series of actions that were taken before we get to this point. And that is, again, because nobody wants to be embroiled in this kind of controversy because it's a lose-lose situation. Nobody comes out looking great, and it's just sad all around. So I hope that provides a little bit of insight into the way pageantry works or way organizations are set up. And I feel like this would be similar to any kind of job that you would be in. You aren't automatically dismissed for something or without reason. Usually you're provided a reason with why you are dismissed from some kind of job title or what have you. So it is generally the same thing. Like, you're going to go through a series of warnings probably when in your job before you get to that final step of being dismissed, unless what you've done is so egregious that there is just no coming back from that. So when I see an organization take this route, it generally communicates to me that there's something going on in the background that we just may not know. And so I just want everyone to keep an open mind and just sort of, support both of these women in their time. Jada is gearing up to take off for India at the end of the month, and we want to give her all of our support. And we also do want to lend support to Latecia during this very difficult time as well. All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you have any comments, if you have any questions, be sure to leave them down below in the comments section. If you like the video, be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe before you leave and hit the notification bell so you won't miss another one of our videos. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and until next time, have a great week.